नातपक्षाय नाभक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयते idam te natapakshaya. So these teachings of Bhagavad Gita are not to be given to those who are atapakshaya, not austere, not sense controlled. Next, na abhaktaya, those who do not have devotion to Lord. Asushrushrave, those who are not willing to hear from bona fide devotees. Krishna already spoke in Bhagavad Gita earlier. Tad vidya pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanineha tattvadarshinaha. Jnana can be attained. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita can be attained by submissively surrendering to a teacher who is realized, who has understood the truth. And you have to be very submissive to the teachings and you have to render seva also. When that attitude is not there, then you cannot hear. You cannot understand. Then abhyasuyati, one who is envious. So 4 disqualifications to understand Bhagavad Gita. Number 1, no austerity, no self-control. Number 2, no devotion. Number 3, no inclination to hear. Number 4, envy in the heart. So Gita teaching should not be given to such people. What are the benefits of teaching Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says, 68th sloka. Yayidam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidasyati bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vaishyasya samshayah. Yayidam paramam guhyam, this extremely important and supreme secret of Bhagavad Gita, whoever teaches this Bhagavad Gita to my devotees, idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidasyati. If you give these teachings of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees, bhaktim mayi param kritva, one can attain bhakti, pure devotion unto Krishna. Mame vaishyasi, one can attain Krishna also directly. First one will attain bhakti unto Krishna, next they will attain Krishna only. Krishna bhakti first, then Krishna less. Next. Both you will attain by teaching Bhagavad Gita to the devotees of the Lord. Nacha tasman. Next. Nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha bhavita nacha me tasmat anyah priyataro bhave. Nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha. There is no one who is as dear to me as a person who teaches Bhagavad Gita to my devotees, Krishna says. If you spread the message of Bhagavad Gita, or even if you assist in the spreading of the message of Bhagavad Gita, you are extremely dear to Krishna. Fine. Krishna holds a preacher, a teacher of the scriptures very dear to him. Or not only Krishna, all the great devotees also appreciate such preachers, those who spread the message of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, the Gopi says in the middle of in Gopi Gita, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. So whoever is spreading the message of Krishna consciousness amongst those masses who are suffering in this material existence, they are bhurida jana. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam shrimadatatam bhavigrinantiye bhurida jana. Bhurida means very compassionate souls. They are benevolent benefactors of the entire humanity. One who spreads the teachings of the scriptures, teachings of Gita, Bhagavatam and other scriptures like that, he is extremely dear to Krishna, dear to the gopis, dear to all the devotees. Tapyante lokatapena sadhavaha prayasho janaha paramaradhanam tadhi purushasya akhilatmanaha. Whatever efforts, endeavors that you put in spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita, you may undergo a lot of inconvenience and austerity to relieve other people from their miseries. But your austerity in that attempt of spreading Krishna consciousness will make you dear to Krishna. This is the purpose of devotees traveling from one place to another place. Mahadvicharanam drunam grihinam deenachetasam vishreyasaya bhagavan kalpate nanyatha kvachit. Devotees go from one place to another place only to enlighten masses, only to give them teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Janasya krishnad vimukhasya devat adharmashilasya sudukhitasya anugrahayeha charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. So people who are Krishna vimukha can be converted into Krishna sumukha by devotees' intervention in their life. People who are adharmashilasya will become parodharmashilasya when a devotee goes and enlightens them in Bhakti Yoga. People who are Krishna Vimukha will become Krishna Sumukha by devotees' teachings. People who are Sudukhitasya will become Susukham Kartum Avyayam by devotee. So, one who is participating in the mission of spreading Bhakti Yoga is extremely dear to Krishna, specifically teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So, next sloka, 70th sloka, further benefits of studying Bhagavad Gita. So, 68 and 69 are speaking the benefits of teaching Gita, and 70th is about studying Gita. For you to teach Gita, you should study Gita. What is the benefit of studying Gita? 70th sloka. Adhyeshyete chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavyayah avayoh gnanayagnena tenaham ishtahasyam iti me matih. So in this sloka Krishna says that, and I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship me by his intelligence. Studying scripture is worshipping God with intelligence. You may directly worship the deities with flowers and fruits and other physical objects, bhoga, naivedyam, water, sweets. But by doing Bhakti Yoga, by studying Bhagavad Gita, you are worshipping the Lord with your intelligence. By meditating on Krishna, you are worshipping Krishna with your mind. And the deity worship that you do is worshipping Krishna with your senses. You are worshipping with intelligence. 71st sloka. What about benefit of hearing Bhagavad Gita? One is about teaching, second studying, third is about hearing Gita. 71. Shraddhavan anasuyascha srunuyad apiyo naraham sopi muktah shubhal lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. One who listens to Bhagavad Gita with faith, shraddhavan, with faith, anasuyascha, without envy. You can listen to a teacher only if you are not envious of the teacher. Fine. Envy is so prominent in this material realm. So someone who is teaching, who is he to teach me? There is envy. Who is he to instruct me? People may think like that. But one should have humility to learn. One should not be envious. Now you see this. One who listens with faith and without envy, what will happen to him? Sopi muktah shubhal lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. He will become mukta. He will be freed from all sinful reactions and he will attain auspicious planets where the pious people reside. Okay. So that is prapnuyat punya karmanam. So one can attain better planets. Okay. And if you hear and then imbibe these principles and then take to Bhakti Yoga, you will attain the most pious planet, which is actually Krishna's supreme abode. But here these two qualifications to hear and study Bhagavad Gita are very important. One is faith, second is non-enviousness. Fine. So Krishna said in Gita that Bhagavad Gita that Gita cannot be taught to non-devotees who are envious. But although not everyone is devotee, still there are so many devotees who teach Bhagavad Gita to non-devotees also, taking some little risk. Okay. And they have faith in him as the Supreme Lord. If such persons hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, they attain results mentioned in this 71st sloka. So the devotees sometimes hold public classes and give opportunity for common people to become devotees. So now there are envious people, very agnostic, very atheistic, they may not be able to hear, but in the common masses, they are not actually envious people, they are ignorant people. While one section of non-devotees are arrogant, one section of non-devotees are innocent or ignorant. So innocent and ignorant people can be taught by devotees, but arrogant people cannot be taught by devotees. But sometimes a very powerful devotee may want to convert these arrogant people also into devotees, provided he himself has that great spiritual strength and empowerment by the Lord. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to convert even the great impersonalists like Prakashananda Saraswati also. He wanted to inundate them also with love of Godhead. So some people are of that great capacity. Mahaprabhu, playing the role of a devotee, he spread Krishna consciousness at such a great scale. He tapped even the most atheistic personalities also. But not everyone could have such a bandwidth. But one can always spread the message of Bhagavad Gita not only amongst devotees, but those people who are innocent. They are not envious, actually speaking. They are not devotees, but they are not envious or arrogant people. They are innocent and ignorant people. Okay? Non-devotees are of two types. Na bhajanti, second avajananti. Na bhajanti are people who do not worship Krishna out of innocence or ignorance. But avajananti means they know Vedas, but they are very proud, they are very arrogant. This is mentioned in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. We discussed, I think, Nimi Navayogendra Samvad, in that this comes. Na bhajanti avajananti. So innocent people are supposed to be given mercy and compassion. Okay. So that's why you can hold classes only amongst the devotee community and not amongst common masses of people. No, holding classes amongst common masses of people is also okay, because all of them are not envious people. Sometimes you may find an envious person also, that's fine. You may kind of try to avoid him. But this is the thing. Majority are innocent people. 72nd shloka. Kachit etat shrutam partha tvayaiకాగ్రేణ చేతసాం కచ్చిత్ అజ్ఞాన సమ్మోహ pranashtaste dhananjaya. So kachit etat shrutam partha. O Partha, you have heard this with an attentive mind. Ekagra chetasa. Okay. Tvaya ekagrena chetasa. Kachit ajnana sammoha. Means, did you come out of your ignorance? Are your ignorance and sammoha, bewilderment, now dispelled? Krishna is asking Arjuna this question. So I have spoken to you entire Bhagavad Gita. Earlier you were in confusion in first chapter. Now we came to last chapter. Is the confusion gone? Is the bewilderment gone? Is the illusion gone? Did you hear very attentively? As per the request of Arjuna, Krishna became his guru and taught that Bhagavad Gita. Now Arjuna is speaking out. Nashto moha smritir labdham tat prasadan mayachyutam sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Nashto moha. My illusion is gone, Krishna. Smritir labdha. I have regained my memory. When you are too much into material emotions, your memory is lost. Your intelligence is lost. Arjuna was overwhelmed with lot of material emotions and compassions in the first chapter. That's why he could not fully discriminate. Now he has regained his composure. Tat prasadad mayachyuta. How did he regain his composure? By the prasada, by the mercy of Krishna. Sthitosmi gata sandeha. All my doubts are gone. Sthitosmi, I am now firmly fixed in my position without any doubts. Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. Earlier Krishna told Arjuna, Yethechasi tathakuru. You do whatever you want. Now Arjuna is declaring, I will do what you want me to do. Okay. So that is the transformation that Bhagavad Gita causes to all of us. From a state of confusion to clarity. From a state where Arjuna said before, what did Arjuna say in the second chapter? I am very confused and I am very bewildered. I am unable to ascend. Karpanya doshopa swabhava pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. So my chetana, my mind, my consciousness is totally bewildered about my duty. I don't know what is my duty. As a Kshatriya I am supposed to fight, but somehow I am totally confused and deranged that whether doing this duty as a Kshatriya is correct or not. He was confused. Now he says, Nashto moha smritir labdha. From dharma sammudha chetaha to Nashto moha smritir labdha. So that is the transformation that Gita brings in. So Gita is not meant only for old people or monks, renounced monks, who people may think that they have all the time to study Bhagavad Gita. They can contemplate on Gita. We are busy with so many immediate responsibilities. We cannot study. Arjuna is not a monk. Is he a sannyasi? No. And Arjuna is certainly not a retired person. He is a active Kshatriya. And it's not that Arjuna is relaxed now. Okay, fine, he is not a monk, he is not a retired person. At least he is in a relaxed situation, he can hear. He is not relaxed. He is just about to perform his most important duty of his entire life. He had a very emergency duty to perform immediately. In that context, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are very relevant to him. This Bhagavad Gita is not a book that to be studied at your leisure. Okay, it's not like a novel, it's not like a story book. It is important book that gives you the teachings of life. Although the context is in war, the content is about life. So Krishna is speaking in the context of war. This is not relevant only to inspire you to fight. So how many slokas in this entire Bhagavad Gita are about war? Hardly anything. Did Krishna Yuddha, he searched for the word Yuddha. How many Yuddhas are there in the 700 slokas? Hardly few times. Maximum 10-15 slokas may be there in entire Bhagavad Gita that directly speaks about war. But remaining hundreds of slokas are speaking about life. What is Karma Yoga, what is Dhyana Yoga, what is Ashtanga Yoga, what is Bhakti Yoga, what is the best of all yogas, what are foods in three kinds of modes. He is about to fight with his enemies. I mean, is it the time to discuss about foods in three modes? Intelligence in three modes. Okay. Ashratha Moolam Suviryudhamenam. Is it the right time to discuss about compare the material world with a tree? Hey, what is this? I have to fight a war and you are speaking about some banyan tree which is upside down. What is this comparison going on? About Kshetra, Kshetragna. Such a intense philosophical discussion is going on between Arjuna and Krishna while staying on the battlefield. So the teachings are relevant for all the human beings at all times, for all time to come. Fine. It's not just a book that is spoken, song that is sung to inspire a confused friend about how to fight. There are not many fighting instructions, they are living instructions. Fine. We can discuss more, and I think we discussed also about the importance of studying Bhagavad Gita earlier. Next. Ultimately, what is Arjuna's conclusion? Karishye vachanam tava. The last line that Arjuna spoke in Bhagavad Gita is Karishye vachanam tava. This is the take-home message. The primary direct recipient of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna, is it not? So after directly hearing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna understand? He understood that acting according to Krishna's instructions is the best possible option for me. He declared, Karishye vachanam tava. I will act according to your instruction. That's all. We have to take this one line, we have to underline. All we need to do is what Krishna wants us to do. What Krishna wants us to do? Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Or sarva dharman parichiti mamekam sharanam vraja. Done. Whether you have understood entire Bhagavad Gita or not, if you understand these 2-3 lines, that is sufficient. Arjuna says, Sarva karishye vachanam tava, I will do what you say. And what Krishna said? Sarva dharman parichiti mamekam sharanam vraja. Take my shelter. How do you take shelter? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Done. Fine. So here Arjuna says, what else can I ask? Having given up all duty, surrendering to you completely without worries, I now completely trust you and follow your orders. I'll just follow. You want me to fight? I'll fight. So Arjuna is not fighting according to his prescribed duty or to go to heaven. All the previous discussion that Krishna had, do your duty with your detachment, karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga, he is not all that. Krishna wants me to fight, I will fight. Done. Matter closed. So this is the transformatory power of love. Krishna expressed his love for his devotees, for all the parts and parcels. How much he loves his devotees. Ananyas chintayanto amam ye janaha paryupasati. So Krishna just expressed his heart in front of Arjuna. Ma shuchaha, you don't worry, you don't fear Arjuna, I will relieve you from all sinful reactions, you please don't worry. I give you reassurance. And you just become my devotee, I will take care of you. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. So Krishna expressed his heartfelt feelings in front of Arjuna, and Arjuna just reciprocated with those feelings, saying that Krishna, you promised that you will take care of me. What fear do I have? I will just act according to your instructions. I have no more doubts in this. You are my caretaker, I know. So that is the loving exchange that is happening between Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna just said that you love me so much, when you are my direct caretaker, what hesitation do I have to follow your orders? So you respond to the loving call of Krishna, loving appeal of Krishna, more than intellectually analyzing things. Analysis Krishna has done already. And finally he also asked, Yathechasi tatha kuru. Arjuna, you contemplate on what I said and then you decide what you want to do. But finally he said, Arey, my devotee, why he has to break his head? I will only tell him what to do. Why he has to figure out his essence. Then he said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. This is essence. He gave the question paper. He asked, you answer the questions. Okay, I will only give you the answer. Okay, you just write it. I am showing the answer. Open book exam. I will open the book and keep it for you. You just see and write it. Like that. Instead of you closing your eyes and closing the book and then starting contemplating what I heard, what is the essence of it. Okay. Like that. So that concludes the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Now Sanjaya starts speaking. 74th sloka. Sanjaya uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadam imam asrausham adbhutam roma harshanam. So this conversation between Krishna and Arjuna is roma harshanam. It is it will make one's hair stand on end. I have heard this wonderful adbhutam conversation. It is very enlivening. My hairs are standing on end. 75th sloka. Vyasa prasadat shrutavan etad guhyam aham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat kathayatah swayam. By the mercy of Vyasadeva, I was able to directly see the transcendental talks between Yogeshwara Krishna and a great devotee Arjuna. So by the mercy of Vyasadeva only, he could envision what's happening on the battlefield, right? So Arjuna was fortunate enough to hear Krishna directly standing or sitting right in front of him. But Sanjaya was able to hear, although he was not on the battlefield, he was able to hear sitting in the palace because Vyasadeva has given him that vision. 76th shloka. Rajan samsmritya samvadam idam adbhutam केशवार्जुनयोः पुण्यं हृष्यामि च मुहुर्मुहुः. Muhur means I repeatedly recall this wonderful conversation that happened between Keshava and Arjuna. It is sacred conversation. I am being thrilled at every moment. Sanjaya says, I am thrilled at every moment. Hrishyami cha muhur. 77th sloka. Taccha samsmritya samsmrityam rupam atyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan hrishyami cha punah. Again he says, I repeatedly remember Krishna's wonderful form which is adbhutam. I am struck with wonder, vismaya, more and more, and I rejoice, hrishyami, repeatedly again and again. My hairs are standing on end. So he is repeating the same words again and again in these few slokas out of his ecstasy, out of his excitement. And finally he concludes, Dhritarashtra earlier hoped that there could be some victory for my sons because Arjuna is giving up fight. Now Arjuna said that I am going to fight according to Krishna's orders. So Sanjaya declares that there is no hope for victory for your sons, O Dhritarashtra. Your sons Duryodhana, Dushasana, all the other people, they will not win in this fight. Wherever Krishna is there and wherever Arjuna is there, there is only victory. He says, Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitirmatirmama. Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Wherever Yogeshwara, the master of all mystics, Krishna is present, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, wherever the supreme archer, the best bowman on the planet, Arjuna is present, Tatra, at that place, Shri means opulence or prosperity, Vijaya, victory, Bhuti, Dhruva, Nitir, Matir, Mama, and also Dhruva, extraordinary power, Niti, morality, are sufficiently present. So your opulence or prosperity, victory, morality and power are always existing in a place where Krishna and Arjuna are present. Matir Mama, this is the opinion of Sanjaya, who has seen the entire conversation. So Dhritarashtra was hopeful of victory for his sons, but Sanjaya said, no more hope for you. So that is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So it is our great fortune to discuss this Bhagavad Gita for several months. I think we began when? At least 6 months back, right?
More than 6 months.
More than 6 months back.
Started in July.
June, July. This is April. Oh my God. It's almost 8 to 10 months we discussed. Of course, we had some gaps also. Not that every day we are discussing. So I'm very happy and grateful that I got all your association through discussions of Bhagavad Gita, and I wish you all the best for your self-study and your exams and absorption in entire Bhagavad Gita teachings. And we have discussed a lot, and it's our responsibility also to make a sincere attempt to imbibe these teachings, apply these teachings and spread these teachings. Thank you all very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.